Good evening, and welcome to Chesapeake Public Schools Family Empowerment Webinar, presented by the Office of Family and Community Engagement, FACE. I am Ana Medina, one of the FACE specialists. Our office, which is under the Department of Engagement, seeks to create meaningful partnerships in order to inspire, engage, and empower families, educators, and community agencies to support the initiatives of Chesapeake Public Schools. We are typically available Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and can be reached by our main phone line at 757-482-5923 or FACE at cpschools.com. We are excited to offer our families a course catalog entitled Peak Parent University that outlines all of our events for the school year. You can also catch up on pre-recorded webinars, access a wealth of educational resources, and make community connections to promote your family's well-being. Please visit www.cpschools.com and search Peak Parent University. Tonight, we are happy to present information regarding Chesapeake Virtual Academy, also known as CVA. Before I turn the program over to Mr. Stephen Chamberlain, I want to let everyone know that this webinar is being recorded for use on our Chesapeake Public Schools YouTube channel for future use. Additionally, the chat feature has been disabled. Therefore, if you have any questions, please place them in the Q&A located at the bottom of the screen. We will answer all questions by the conclusion of tonight's webinar. At this time, I'd like to turn the program over to Mr. Chamberlain.
Thank you, Anna. I am going to start by sharing my screen with everybody and introducing to you the panelists that will be participating in tonight's webinar. My name is Stephen Chamberlain. I am the Program Administrator for Virtual Instruction. I will start our webinar this evening and then come in at the end to finish up with some information about the application process for the 24-25 school year. We're also joined by Dr. Kelly Jordan, who is the supervisor of Chesapeake Virtual Academy, and Dr. Aaron Jury, who is our special education administrator. Both Dr. Jordan and Dr. Jury will go over the nuts and bolts of CVA, our instructional program, as well as the special education services that we offer. We are joined as well by our school counseling director, that is Miss Teosha Macklin. Miss Macklin will be working in the Q&A throughout tonight's webinar. And as a reminder, we do ask that you use the Q&A feature since the chat has been disabled. Keep in mind, we may skip an answer in the Q&A if we know that it is going to be answered later on in the presentation. So for those of you who are not familiar with Chesapeake Virtual Academy and may be wondering why we started the Academy and why it might be a good option for your students, we're going to start with our whole purpose. And one of the things that CVA tries to do is to make sure that we provide all students with greater control over the time, place, path, and pace of their learning. In turn, that means that many of our students are able to have a very personalized learning experience. And there are lots of reasons why students may come to us. We hear often from students that I simply learn better online. I don't have some of the same distractions that I may have in the building. And while we ask in the application, why do you want to be a CVA student? It is perfectly acceptable for a student to say, I just want to give it a try. We're also proud to offer CVA classes to students that may not otherwise be available to them in a building. So, for example, in the 24-25 school year, we are adding 5 new dual enrollment and AP classes, 4 of which are only available to students in Chesapeake Public Schools through the virtual academy. We also see a lot of governor school students that sometimes have scheduling conflicts take CVA classes. And we also see some student athletes, perhaps students that are on travel teams and they're not able to participate in a full day of school, take part in our academy. Many students at the Chesapeake Career Center are doing well in CVA as it allows them to participate in work-based learning opportunities where they may have a job that they go to in the morning, in the afternoon, or sometimes for a full day, and then they're able to take their classes uh, throughout the evening time. Of course, CVA provides opportunities for students that may have some type of mental or physical health concern, and a placement in a building is just not going to work for them. And we're very proud of the fact that we have students with disabilities in our program, many of which are excelling quite well. And Dr. Jury will talk more about our exceptional learning opportunities later on. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Jordan, and she will explain our instructional program.
Thanks, Mr. Chamberlain. So one of the things that I think that I'm most pleased about or excited to announce is that this is open to all of our Chesapeake Public School students. There's no limit in terms of the amount of students that we can take, and it is free of charge. All you have to do is apply and meet the criteria of that. Students remain connected to their home school. And so that's one of the really exciting features that we have. That means that they can participate in the sports, the clubs, and the activities. So if the student is a high school or middle school student and they want to be on the basketball team, they can certainly try out and do that. Or if their club has National Honor Society or a chess club or any of those things, they can certainly do that. But let's say they're even an elementary school student and their elementary school is hosting a literacy night or any of those events, they are certainly welcome to participate in those events at their home school. When they're a full-time student, and our full-time students can be K-12, they are making a full year commitment to CVA. So we do ask that you be mindful of the decision that you are making when you do submit your application. And students who attend CVA in the 23-24 school year, so students who are currently with us at this time, must reapply for the upcoming school year. So our applications are open now, and our students who are currently with us will need to resubmit an application. Our program is extremely unique in the sense that it's a combination of synchronous and asynchronous instruction. And a lot of people will say, well, what in the world do those two words mean? So, in the graphic on the right hand side, it's going to explain that. But synchronous instruction is real time live instruction with a Chesapeake Public Schools teacher. Synchronous instruction can be done face to face, as a lot of you are familiar with brick and mortar teachers, but it can also be done virtually through what we're doing right now in a webinar or through a virtual classroom, and as our teachers do it in their Google Meet sessions. Asynchronous learning is when the student is working independently on the material that the instructor or the teacher has left for them to complete. It can be done in our manner through a Canvas course modules in which the students submit that work electronically. We also provide services to students that are English language learners, that are gifted and special education. And like Mr. Chamberlain mentioned earlier, Dr. Jury will speak more on that topic. One of the things that I think we're most proud of this year is our Teacher of the Year, Miss Kathy Mustang. And it's a really cool thing that we like to highlight. All of our teachers are Chesapeake Public School teachers. And this year, our very own teacher was awarded Citywide Middle School Teacher of the Year. Miss Mustang is our middle school physical health and physical education teacher. And out of all of the middle school teachers of the year, she was selected as the Chesapeake Public Schools Citywide Teacher of the Year. But again, all of our K-12 teachers are Chesapeake Public School teachers. So they're not, just teachers that we've outsourced and hired from other school divisions or anything like that. These are teachers that work directly for Chesapeake Public Schools. and they are using Chesapeake Public Schools curriculum. So the curriculum that is used in the brick and mortar or your students zoned homeschool is going to be the exact same curriculum that we are using in our courses as well. And they're going to follow the exact same Chesapeake Public Schools pacing. So what that means is they should be approximately at the same pace as the brick and mortar buildings. So when they're teaching that content, they're going to be, teaching at the same pace and time. For CVA Elementary, it's going to be open to all students in grades rising kindergarten through rising fifth grade. It is synchronous and asynchronous instruction, like we just talked about, and it's 5 days a week. It very much models the same schedule or a very similar schedule as our brick and mortar buildings. We do have a daily attendance check-in that is required. We are required to take daily attendance as the state code requires, and the schedule aligns with the Chesapeake Public Schools required instructional minutes for each content area. We do have whole group instruction where the students all come together and learn as a class, but then we also have small group instruction where students are in smaller reading groups and smaller math groups, getting a more personalized instructional time with their teachers. We also have science, social studies, art, music, health, and PE. And then we have opportunities built in throughout our day for remediation and enrichment during our power up time, scheduled each day at the end of the day. And then in addition, we also offer a very unique opportunity for our students to have individual support sessions as needed, where our teachers are available for one-on-one sessions. Here you can see a sample schedule of what a student who's attending K-5, their daily schedule may look like. Our day starts at 7:45. All of our classes start with a morning meeting. And then you can see there's built-in asynchronous breaks throughout the day. So for example, that 8:40 to 9:30 reading workshop with small group would be an asynchronous break for the students because they would be pulled in small groups and their group may not need to log on and meet with the teacher. And so that would be their asynchronous time. And again, for another example would be the 12 to 1 o'clock time. The social studies would be synchronous time versus the next block would be asynchronous time. But again, we have built-in asynchronous time throughout the day to provide breaks for the students. In our middle school model, it's open to all rising 6th through 8th graders, and that too has synchronous and asynchronous instruction built in 5 days a week. We also require a daily attendance check, and we offer academic, honors, and gifted courses. We provide remediation and enrichment courses or opportunities through our Core Plus class. And we also here provide individual support sessions as needed where students can schedule one-on-one support sessions with their teachers. Here we are able to provide our students as well with CVA and virtual Virginia elective options if they so choose. So on the right, you'll see some of the electives options that I was just talking about that we offer. Students can choose to take 1 year, single semester, or 2 semester options in art, independent music techniques, computer science, exploratory world language, intro to leadership and community, or level 1 world languages. But please note the last 2 are only available to rising 8th graders. But all CVA middle school students do participate in English, math, science, social studies, health and PE, and Core Plus. On here, you can see our sample bell schedule for the day. This model is a little bit different, obviously, from our K-5 schedule, in which our students have built-in breaks throughout the day again. Our Bell 1 schedule, or our Bell 1 class, meets every single day in order for us to take that daily attendance. And then you can see our Bells 2 through 7 only meet on a 2-day-a-week schedule, with our Bells 2, 4, and 6 meeting on Mondays and Thursdays, and our Bells 3, 5, and 7 meeting on Tuesdays and Fridays. The times where you see where it says student support sessions, those are times for students to come together in small group or one-on-one times with their teachers to get that individualized or small group instruction. On Wednesdays, that is a longer bell for our Bell 1, where we provide enrichment and remediation. And then again, we have additional time built in for one-on-one and small group support sessions for our students. In addition, you'll see in the evening that we have additional support time built in. All of our teachers are available for additional one-on-one support one evening each week. For our Chesapeake Virtual High schedule, that is open to all rising 9th through 12th graders through a course selection and scheduling process. There's an opportunity in this case for students to be full or part-time, which is very different from our K-8 program for elementary and middle school. In elementary and middle, you can only be full-time. In high school, you now have the opportunity to just schedule part-time. So really what that means is you can take 1 or you can take 8 classes. It's completely up to you. This is an asynchronous instructional model that provides complete flexibility to you as the students. Students work at their own pace with due dates throughout the week, and students really should be independent, self-directed learners. However, I will say that teachers do provide daily one-on-one and small group support to students, as well as live synchronous instruction that is optional for the students to attend. We also do require in our CVA High program a daily attendance check for all of our full-time students. If you're a part-time student, you may take some classes in person in the building and some classes online. You would report to your homeschool daily. You could come in the building late or you could leave early depending on how your schedule worked out. And you would complete your CVA courses in the virtual learning lab that is available at each homeschool if you so choose. If you're a full-time CVA student, you would be making a full year commitment to CVA. All of your classes would be taken online and you would work from home and you would complete your daily attendance check. Regardless of whether you're a full-time or a part-time student, you would always remain connected to your homeschool in which you would be able to participate in school-sponsored sports, clubs, and activities. In regards to our course offerings, like I said, you could take 1 or you can take 8. It's really completely up to you. And we offer lots of different courses. Our course offerings are subject to change based on enrollment, but this presentation, the link will be available on our website. You can see all the course offerings that we have on our website. Students may also take courses with Virtual Virginia if it is a course that CVA does not offer. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Drury, who's going to talk about our exceptional learners.
Good evening. So at CVA, we do offer special education services, including speech and language, and they are available for all students in grades K through 12. Gifted education is also offered for students who qualify in grades 3 through 8. And EL or English Learner Services are offered through zoned schools for all students who qualify. So for our exceptional learners, at the elementary level, we offer push-in or inclusion services and pull-out services in a small group special education virtual classroom. We also have a self-contained program for students whose needs who cannot be met in the general education setting. And related services are offered as well virtually and in person. For our middle school, we offer inclusive services with the daily support block. So when the other students are going to Core Plus, students who receive services have an academic support bell, and for this year for our middle school, it's during Bell 1. We also offer a self-contained ID classroom at the middle school level for those who follow the adaptive curriculum. And again, related services are offered both virtually and in person. So speech, OT, PT, those services are available in either of those settings. And then for our high school program, we have daily support in the online special education classroom in a live synchronous setting. So the students actually log in with their case manager each day from 45 to 90 minutes for live sessions. In addition to that, they can also schedule the one-on-one appointments with their case manager. We also offer a self-contained ID and CrossCat program for students who follow the adaptive curriculum. And again, we offer the related services both virtually and in person. CVA students have opportunities for traditional student interaction. They maintain connection to their home school with access to student athletics, sports, clubs, and extracurricular activities. Each of the high schools have virtual learning centers that the students can go in. So if they're a part-time student, and they can go to their in-person classes for part of the day and then also take their CVA classes through the lab. We have in-person centralized testing for our K through 8 program, which we've actually been doing over the last couple of weeks. So we offer that in-person testing with our own teachers and our own guidance counselors and administrators. So that's a really good benefit for our students that everybody seemed to benefiting from and enjoying. We also offer counseling and mentoring. And then we have morning meetings, lunch bunches, small group, one-on-one sessions. We offer various enrichment and remediation, and then field trips. So one of the things that we started last year that we just love, our students' families love it as well as our staff, is we started the CVA Family Fun Night. The last one that was scheduled for January 9th had to be canceled/postponed because of the weather. But it's just an opportunity for all of our students in our K through 8 program to come together, spend time with their teachers in person. It's amazing the friendships that they're able to make online. And then when they see them in person, just the smiles. We even had some students who had their picture taken together this year for Picture Day. So that was really cute to see. But they just engage in various activities and arts and crafts and just have a time of, I guess, collaboration and kind of just having fun with their classmates and their teachers. As far as parent involvement, being a virtual student requires a high level of parent involvement, especially communication. We don't have that physical proximity to the students, so we rely on our communication with the parents. Your responsibility is to provide a safe, secure, and structured learning environment for students, to ensure students complete their daily attendance check, to ensure that your student attends their synchronous sessions and completes asynchronous assignments, and then to ensure that they have access to a CPS Chromebook and then also internet access as well. So frequently asked questions. One is, are students required to complete SOL, MAP, and other standardized testing? And that would be a yes. So CVA students must complete all standardized testing as mandated by Chesapeake Public Schools and or the Virginia Department of Education. And then it says, will students have to report to campus? So students must report to campus to complete standardized assessments. Again, K through 8, we do them at a centralized location. Our high school students must report back to their zone schools to take their SOL tests. Again, which is mandated by CPS as well as the College Board and the Virginia Department of Education. It says, are students provided with Chromebooks and textbooks? So all CVA students are provided with a CPS Chromebook and any necessary textbooks. Students and or parents must pick up these items from the student's home school. And it says, who would I contact if I need tech support? So CVA teachers can troubleshoot most technology issues, but if needed, you can email the IT help desk to assist with technical problems associated with that CPS issue device. So it can only be a CPS Chromebook that they are troubleshooting. It says, our synchronous sessions recorded. Since CVA elementary and CVA middle school students are required to attend all synchronous sessions, they are not recorded. Students who are absent may schedule a one-on-one appointment time with their teacher for any missed content. And then it also says, how much time will I spend working on any one an online class? Students should plan to spend about the same amount of time completing their CVA courses as they would if they were enrolled in traditional courses. This includes time spent in school as well as the additional time to complete homework.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Jury. So if the information that you've heard tonight has piqued your interest and you are interested in applying for the 24-25 school year, we're going to share some information with you about how that process will work. Students in grades kindergarten through rising 8th graders can apply on our website. The website for Chesapeake Virtual Academy is cpschools.com/o/CVA. You can also get to that website through the main Chesapeake Public Schools website, which is, of course, cpschools.com. Applications are open now. And will remain open through March 5th. As applications are received, they are processed on a first come, first served basis, and there are 2 pieces of evaluation criteria that principals will use as they review those applications. First of all, All students have to have passing classes in their, or I'm sorry, passing grades in their core classes in quarters 1 and quarter 2 of the current school year. And they cannot be chronically absent, which means they need to have 9 or fewer absences by the end of semester 1 in the current school year. We anticipate being able to send out acceptance letters to K through 8 students in late May 2024. Those letters will be sent via US mail, and then parents will have an opportunity to either accept or decline a seat for the next school year, with June 14th, 2024 being the last day to withdraw an acceptance for the 24-25 school year. The high school application process works a little bit differently. Students in grades 9 through 12, or students rising grades 9 through 12, have 2 steps that they need to complete. First, they need to enter their course requests in Student View based on their homeschool scheduling timeline. Each middle school with rising 9th graders and high school is working through that process right now in January and February. And then the second thing they need to do is visit our website, also complete the application no later than March 5th, 2024. CVA course requests can be verified with your school counselor by March 5th, 2024. For students that receive special education services, there is an additional step beyond completing the application, and that is that the IEP team will likely need to meet to review that student's needs and services and ensure that we will be able to provide those services in an online format. That also means that an IEP amendment will have to be completed to reflect online special education services prior to the start of the school year. We also know that there may be some current homeschool students who are interested in joining CVA for next year. We strongly encourage those students to also complete the CVA application by March 5th, 2024. And then the next step for them is to enroll back into Chesapeake Public Schools. And that process typically opens around April 1st of each year. After the enrollment process in Chesapeake Public Schools is complete, we encourage parents to contact us at cva-admin@cpschools.com so that we can move forward with their CVA application. I know that we gave you a lot of information tonight, and this webinar will be recorded and posted on our website. There's lots of other information there as well. In addition to the application, there's a list of our daily schedule. There's a list of courses that we offer. You can also reach out to your homeschool counselor or contact us by email or phone at 757-547-1416. And please follow us on social media. We have a presence on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, X, formerly known as Twitter. So with that, I'm going to turn it back to the FACE team. Thank you for joining us tonight, and we look forward to hearing from you.
I'd like to thank the Chesapeake Virtual Academy team for sharing their wealth of knowledge regarding CVA. We hope that after joining us tonight, you have more insight on the Virtual Academy and will perhaps consider this as an option. Again, we will be sending all webinar registrants tonight's presentation once it is ready for YouTube. And should you have any questions about tonight's webinar or need additional information or resources, please contact us at FACE@cpschools.com. Thank you for joining us this evening. Remember, families and communities work better together. Have a good night, everyone.